Hi, everybody. This is Erica from In the Company of Cards. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here a while. As those of you who've been here know, I read Lenormand, which is a 36 card system, to divine what's going to happen in the future, and I also sort of do my own political commentary, um, on social political issues here. Um, I'm the see if I can find it. Yeah. I'm the author of The Language of Lenormand. So if you're interested in learning how to read cards the way that I do, this is the book for you. You can find it wherever books are sold. There is a link right under the video that you can click and find out how to access both the deck and the cards. This deck is my own, but there are many beautiful Lenormand decks out there. So, mine's not the only one. So, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting the notification bell. I noticed that other readers are saying that they've noticed that people who have subscribed are finding that they're in fact unsubscribed. So just be sure and check that you're subscribed. If you're not, it means that they do that periodic culling that they do for whatever reason. So just hit the subscribe bell again and the notification bell again so that you can know when I upload. Glad that so many of you enjoyed the Sunday conversation with Sheila Haidt. Um, she had a great time too, and I'm sure that I'll have her on in the future. Okay, so what do I want to look at? I mean, there's not a whole lot of things that I'm dying to look at. But I will say this, one thing I'm not going to look at is Joe Biden and his health. We already got the health update on Sunday, and obviously prostate cancer is not a good thing. Stage 4 is really not a good thing. And the fact that it's spread to his bones is not a good thing, but we wish him well. We wish him um, a, a pain-free uh, time and time with his family and peace and just some serenity as he contemplates what's next for him, which is what we all should do, right? Um, but yeah, not going to be reading that Jake Tapper book, which I think was, an opportunistic low blow. I think we need to be focused on where we are right now and on what's coming in. So that's where my energy is. So speaking of where we are and what's coming in, I told you ages ago that Musk would be leaving the stage. He is leaving the stage basically because he has not been as well received as he thinks he ought to have been. I mean, can you say delusional? And of course, he's lost a lot of money. He's also proclaimed that he's not going to be giving to political campaigns in the way that he has given to this current administration's campaign. And is he really bowing out? Why don't we ask the cards? Is he really bowing out? So I will use the older man for him. And let's see what's around Musk. What is his intention? I mean, why wouldn't he bow out? He's done his dirt, dismantling everything. So mission accomplished. But let's see what his next plan is, aside from trying to salvage Tesla. All right, so what is Elon up to now that he has been pushed off center stage? Because I do think that's what happened. I think he's become more of a liability than an asset in terms of what 47 thinks. Okay, so this stands for Elon. Well, you know what? I don't want to give him too much of my energy. So I'm only going to pull the five. So we've got the letter, the younger man. This is Elon, the anchor, and the key. I'm going to say that, he may say he's leaving because his 100 days are up and he wants us to think that his political interference is over with. But I don't think that's true. I think that you know who wanted to put him in his place and has, you know. No, we're not co-presidents. I'm the president, says you know who. And he has relegated um, Musk to stage left, we'll just call it. And, the paperwork says that he can only be there for that 100 days without being confirmed by the Senate for some position, and that hasn't happened. But I don't, I mean, he's saying he's leaving the political sphere. I don't think he is. This tells me that he is not going anywhere. He will just be not the face of things in the way that he has been for the past 100 and some days. But he will, Doge has done its dirty work, and we will feel that for years to come. What I really want to know, what I really want to know is he going to have to pay, is he going to pay a price? Because really, not for nothing, he should be in jail. Am I wrong? He should be in jail. So will Musk face any legal consequences for tearing our system into pieces, ruining people's lives, wholesale? Uh, will he pay a price? Let's let Spirit pull all the cards. Will he pay a legal price in the end? Obviously, not in this administration, but this administration will not be here forever. Will 47 be brought up on charges once the time comes? Oh, five. I looked at this question in regard to Pam Bondi a while ago, and I saw that she would not face any charges, that her life will go on. She will be paid highly for whatever her next move is. And it was disappointing to a lot of people, including me. But some people, I guess they get their punishment and their reward in ways that I can't see and you can't see, but hopefully the universe balances everything out. But I just want to know for the moment now, will Elon face legal consequences for upending everything? So I'm going to say yes. I think that at some point in the future, hopefully we're all on this side of the dirt to see it. He will be brought up on charges that will be onerous to him, but will be exactly what needs to happen. So his life trajectory in terms of what happens after this administration is no longer there is nothing good for him. Nothing good. He will be ruined and hopefully in jail. I don't see a card for jail. That would be, I think, something like the tower, or it might be the coffin, enclosed space like a cell. But trouble, nevertheless, bad trouble is coming for him. So cards are pretty clear on that, so take that to the bank. Again, not for the foreseeable future, but in the fullness of time, where we'll all be able to see it. I think he'll pay a consequence. All right. Another thing I'd like to know. I mean, is Christi Noem as dumb as she seems? Like, you know that you're going before a congressional committee, and you've got to know that they're going to ask you about, and you're the director of Homeland Security, let me just add. You've got to know they're going to ask you about habeas corpus. You couldn't Google what that meant. In fact, shouldn't knowing what the writ of habeas corpus is, should that not be a prerequisite for your job? But what did she get up there and do? Maggie Hassan, the senator, asked her, well, what's habeas corpus? And she says, Christi Noem says, well, it's the right of the president to throw people out of the country when he wants to. What? That's not what habeas corpus is. I did a video, it might have been my most recent, well, a couple of videos ago on habeas corpus. And what it really is the fact that the detaining and imprisonment of a person needs to be given a public reason. You can't just pick somebody up and throw them in jail for no reason. We have to know the reason. And that knowledge is public knowledge. That's what habeas corpus means. So here she is redefining it. Now, I'm not even going to give her that kind of credit that she's redefining it and saying, watch the watch. What it really means is, um, the president can do what he wants and throw anybody out that he wants. I don't think it's that. My theory is that she just didn't know how. I mean, first of all, it's something that she should know. But okay, for whatever reason, she didn't know. She didn't, she knew she was going in front of that committee. Why didn't she Google it? Why didn't she have an aide give her a definition she could read out? So, I mean, is she really, entertainment purposes only, but is she as dumb as she seems to be? And that's a mean question, but oh well, let's look. I'm going to ask Spirit to take the wheel and pull all the cards. Is Christi Noem playing dumb or is she just really dumb? The director of Homeland Security. Right. So we have the sun, the tower, you know who, the letter, and the young woman. Now, Christi Noem, she of the lost purse, remember that? I don't know whatever happened with that purse, but uh, she's well aware that she got this government job from 47 because on paper, she looks the part. And when I say on paper, I mean on camera. Remember, he's all about um, people looking, what is that term? What does he say about Hegseth? I don't know, oh, central casting. Yeah. And, she dresses up in all those different outfits. And she says that people love that she does that, the agency loves that. She's like window dressing. That's what she is. And she knows it. She knows she's out of her depth. She doesn't care. He doesn't care as long as she looks the part. That's a little scary. I mean, Secretary of Homeland Security. Okay. Okay. Wild. Okay. Another one. So Alina Haba. Now, Alina Haba is a name that should be familiar to you. This was one of Trump's lawyers. She was a rabid defender of him during his season of sorrow when he was in trial and in court every other day. And she's been rewarded. And now she is the acting attorney for New Jersey. So I used to live in New Jersey, so I have a sort of a vested interest in this question. So Alina Haba, uh, we know that there's an ICE facility that's been put up there, and we know that the mayor of Newark, which is where it is, Newark, New Jersey, Ross Baraka, and several Congress people went there to check the place out, which they have an absolute right to do. Ross Baraka was arrested and then released, and then the charges against him were dropped. Now, Ross Baraka is Black. He is the son of someone very famous. If you're of a certain age, and if you're Black, you may know who he was, who his father was. His father's name was originally Leroy Jones, and he changed it to Amiri Baraka. And he was a poet and a playwright during the 60s and 70s. I mean, I remember his name very well. Black nationalist for a while. Um, but I mean, like a famous guy, very well known. Anyway, this is his son, Ross Baraka, the mayor now of Newark. And I think that Alina Haba said, oh, you know what? I mean, let's not bother with Ross Baraka. First of all, he's pretty connected, number one. Uh, Number two, he's just the mayor. So, on the one hand, he's got a famous name. On the other hand, he's just the mayor. But we have a Black woman whom we can charge. And this is Representative LaMonica McIver. She is a New Jersey representative. This is her first term. She is Black. And we know that 47 hates, hates, hates Black women. In fact, what he even said about her was, I don't know who she is, but that woke business is over and she was out of control. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video, but I mean, the everybody was very tightly packed together. And I don't know how she could have avoided, frankly, going like that to get people off of her. But at any rate, she's been brought up on charges, felonies of attacking ICE people. I didn't see her attack any ICE person, but I think the reason that Alina Haba has decided to drop the charges against um, against Baraka and to charge LaMonica McIver is because she is relatively unknown. This is her first term in Congress, and she's a Black woman. And remember that I think 47 really wants to give a message to other members of Congress, like, oh, gee, I don't know, Jasmine Crockett, that you too can be arrested. So I'd like to know what is going to happen with LaMonica McIver's case. I think she has a good case, meaning McIver, as opposed to Haba. I think Haba is selling a wolf ticket, but it's a wolf ticket that, with a corrupt enough process, could be cashed. So let's see what will happen with LaMonica McIver. She's I'm gonna let her be the older woman. She's not young. She had no business being manhandled. I know that. Uh, And here's the thing. They only arrested uh, Ross Baraka. Not only did they not arrest her at the time, LaMonica McIver, but she was let into the facility. So if somebody is chargeable with a felony, and the felony is attacking ICE people, you're going to let her in the facility? By the way, she had every right to be in that facility. I just think it's very mixed messaging that Alina Haba is doing. And so I just want to see how this is going to go for LaMonica McIver. So we'll let her be the older woman and let's see what we get. This is just part of this autocratic plan to get everybody scared. I mean, if you're going to arrest Congress people who have every right to inspect a facility in their state that they represent, uh, then is any of us safe? Of course, you know who wants our answer to be no, none of us is safe. So please have your way with us, sir. Okay, this is the Congresswoman. All right, and I think I'll pull some clarifiers. So we have Clover, Garden. Here's Congresswoman. We have the whip, and we have the birds. So all of this kind of happened really fast, that Ross Baraka is the charges are dropped, and then all of a sudden she's charged. So it happened fast, and it was announced publicly. It was announced on Twitter or whatever it's called now, before she was even informed. So it was made public because it's meant to be a public gesture, this this charging of her by Alina Haba. Here she is. And it's harassment. It's meant to be harassing and it's meant to create buzz. And it's meant to be intimidating to members of Congress, particularly those who are Black women. Okay, so now I pulled cards. Thirsty work, what can I say? I pulled cards for LaMonica McIver, and the clarifiers are the rider, the fox, and the child. So the message to her and to all Black women whom he hates, the message is, um, you know, watch out. We can get you. And you are powerless in the face of our chicanery and Machiavellian misdeeds. We can use the law however we want it to 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 bring you down. Um, again, this was a harassing gesture. Clarifiers are the mountain, the letter, and the dog. I mean, I really think that the harassment is meant to block her, but I think that the harassment itself will be blocked by her attorneys. I'm sure she'll have good legal representation. Nevertheless, this definitely has created buzz in the country, in the Congress, amongst the electorate. It's created buzz about people saying, well, I mean, what does this mean? Remember, the book is about things we don't know. Can the book be thrown at people even though it shouldn't be? Like, is this, I mean, we are gonna run around arresting members of Congress for being in places where they have every right to be? Like, what's going on here? Well, this is the message from, you know whose government. I'm the boss of you. Get in line. Do what I say, or else. That's the message. I don't think it'll go as far as he would like it to go, but this is a bully. It's a bullying message. And Alina Haba, of course, she is the loyal pit bull of you know who, so she's happy to be a bully. Entertainment purposes only, and allegedly. I being a black woman myself. Oh God. All right. I mean, we are on thin ice out here, but we are also not afraid. Okay, what else? Oh, um, I'm curious as about this whole tariff thing. So 47 got mad at Walmart, as you know, because Walmart said, customers, just so you know, we're going to have to raise prices. And we have to raise prices because of these tariffs. Well, 47 lost his mind, got really mad at Walmart, and then made a statement that, on the face of it, if you're not smart, like, I don't know, Christi Noem allegedly, you might think he was championing the people because what he said to Walmart is, eat the tariffs. You make billions of dollars a year. Don't pass the cost on to the consumer. Eat the tariffs. Well, I mean, if you're a dummy, you say to yourself, yeah, stick it to those corporations, 47, but don't be a dummy. Because here's the question you need to be asking yourself. Wait, why does the consumer have to eat the tariffs? Why does Walmart have to eat the tariffs? I thought China was going to eat the tariffs. Isn't that what he said during the entire campaign season, where he was touting tariffs all the first 100 days, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs? That other countries pay the tariffs, even though economists tried to tell him, no, that's not how tariffs work. The the companies will have to pay, but then the companies here will have to pay. But of course, they're going to pass the cost on to the consumer. 47 doesn't want that news out because then his base is going to say, wait a minute, that's not what you said. And wait a minute, I can't afford the things that I used to be able to afford in Walmart. Not that I go to Walmart because I thought we were boycotting it, but anyway, Walmart, Target, all of them. But anyway, um, I would like to know whether this will create any kind of corporate backlash against him. I do know that corporate heads have gone in and said to him, listen, this is not how tariffs work. It's going to hurt us. I mean, I understand all of that, but now that he's decided he's going to fight them and look like he's championing the consumer, which of course he's not, I just want to know, when we storm the Bastille or storm Versailles, I mean, are the corporations going to be on our side, storming it as well? Um, what will come of 47 saying to Walmart et al., eat the tariffs? So I'm gonna use the whip. I'm gonna pick a card as the central card because the whip is like fighting words. Those are fighting words. Eat the tariffs. Is that gonna have any blowback for him? Let's just see. Okay, so this is 47 saying to Walmart and other corporations, eat the tariffs. Don't pass the cost on to the consumer. You guys make millions of dollars, eat the tariffs. When meanwhile, that was supposed to be what was on China's plate, not anybody here, right? Okay, so here's what I think. So we have clouds, young man, whip, key, Lily. I think this will have ramifications for him. I think he's kind of like Christi Noem, who doesn't know what habeas corpus is. He didn't know what tariffs did, 47. He was like not clear on it. He wanted it to be what he wanted it to be, and no matter what economists told him, he's just sure that China was going to eat the tariffs. So he was confused and impetuous because he is just wedded to this idea that tariffs are going to save the day. So here is his words to these corporations. But the thing is, I think he's going to have to back down. The damage will be done because those boats have already come with nothing on them. Because, you know, I think he will have to find a way to make peace with these corporations because otherwise they will turn on him. So that's what I think. For with them, one hand washes the other. He scratches their back, they scratch his. Well, he's going to have to start scratching their backs because he can't have them on his back and us too. Hmm. All right, the last thing I thought I'd look at is this whole James Comey thing. So I saw what he said. He gave an explanation. So what had happened was, as they say, he was going for a walk on the beach with his wife, and he saw a formation of seashells in the sand. And the formations spelled out the letters 8647. Now, 86 is a term it's old, there was this old restaurant that was like a speakeasy, which means during Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal, so it was a restaurant in New York. And so when the cops were going to raid the place, people would say 86, and it means leave out this entrance, this exit. The number was 86 on the building. Leave through there, escape so the cops can't get you for you know, um, breaking prohibition laws. 86 also means, I mean, I've known what it means. It means to get rid of. Okay. So 8647 it could mean something like vote him out, impeach him, right? Um, 25th Amendment him. But 47 says that what it meant was somebody should unalive me. It doesn't mean that. It just means move away from the scene, move whatever it is away from the scene. Like another thing that it means in the restaurant industry is that if you have a menu item and then you run out of ingredients, so you can't, if somebody orders it, you can't provide it, you want to get rid of it off the menu so that people don't ask you for it. Like if you, I don't know if you, I don't know if you have hamburgers on the menu, but you ran out of beef. Well, you don't want to have hamburgers there on the menu because people will order them. So the restaurant term is to 86 the hamburger, like just blot it out so that people can't see that as a menu option. But bottom line, it means to get rid of. Is Comey, now Comey, remember who he is. He was the former head of the FBI. He's the one who lost Hillary the race, if you recall. I mean, he's a little smarmy and a little, he's kind of a prig. Now he's a novelist, So he walks around with the turtleneck and the tweed jacket with the, elbow patches on, leather patches. But at any rate, what happened was he was called in to meet with the FBI because they wanted to know because what he did was he took a picture of this very clever seashell arrangement that spelled out 8647, and he just thought it was a clever way to express a political viewpoint. Now he says that like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth as he says that. And you're inclined to believe him because, I mean, he's the head of the FBI. Does he not know that you can't advocate for unaliving someone? But, what was that about? Like, why, what, mm, why did he feel called to take a picture of that and put it on his social media? Now, we know that 47 fired him. 47 fired him when he was 45 because he refused to pardon um, General Flynn. Oh, you can Google who General Flynn is if you don't know, but so there's no love lost between Comey and 47. But why did he take that picture and put it online? What did he what was he thinking? Let's just see what the cards say. I'm going to let Spirit pick all of them. What was that about? Why did he take that picture? And then why did he put it on his social media account? Was it as innocent as he says that it was? Or was it what 47 says? A call to unalive him. The moon, the bouquet, the mountain, the coffin, and the tower. I'm going to say this. On the face of it, I think he did think that it was a clever, artistic rendering of a political opinion. Artistic. So I mean, I think he's accurate when he says that. But he this is a guy who was in government for a long time. He was head of the FBI for some time. You can't tell me that he didn't know. Now, how did these cards go? They went like this. So we have the mountain, coffin, and the tower. I'm gonna say this. I think he's only telling half the story. Because, I mean, come on, what do you think 8647 means? Okay, well, if that's what we think, that's what Comey thought. And what he's doing is being all innocent about it and saying, I just thought it was an artistic representation. But then when you look at these other cards, you have to say to yourself, really? Like, really? Is that really all she thought? I think he needs to be careful. I think Comey needs to be as careful as every Black woman has to be during this time of this administration. Because I don't think it's safe for Black women, especially Black women in any kind of position of authority. And I don't think it's safe for Comey to go around doing that kind of thing. I do see, I've said this before, um, and I'm not the only reader who's said this, that there will be a couple more attempts, if you know what I mean, moving forward, probably in the summer. But I just think it's really poor judgment to put that on his social media. What are you doing? All right. Well, anyway, okay. I did have one final thing to look at, which is from a Canadian viewer, and I love Canada and Canadians. And they asked me to look at the trajectory of Danielle Smith. Now, Mrs. Smith, as sometimes they call her, she is the premier of Alberta, Canada. Uh, and that is I think it's in the Western province, but uh, it's I'm going to just say this. She, because I know people from Alberta and they are not um, Trumpy, but she is. She's talked about statehood, like that Alberta will secede from Canada and pursue American statehood. Anyway, somebody was asking me, a Canadian viewer asked me if I would look at her. Uh, I mean, she's not going anywhere. She's not going to move from Alberta. Will there be an election call to get rid of her? Well, not if enough Albertans are just fine with how she is. Again, I know Albertans who don't care for her politics, but let's see what her political trajectory looks like. This is Danielle Smith, the premier of Alberta, Canada. We'll use the older woman for her. Oh, you know, how I'm always like surprised when this happens. I always check the bottom of the deck just to make sure the card I'm looking for is not there. But there she is. So because she's the last card in the deck, she will be the last card in the line. Okay. So here she is. And then I just pull all the cards that come before her. Um, so the cards are the snake, the bouquet, the dog, the lily, and then Danielle Smith. I mean, she is problematic for a lot of Canadians, Albertans specifically. That's problematic. I know sometimes this can mean a clever woman. I don't think so. I think it's problematic. But there are people who voted her in and who like her. Yeah, she's a problem for like Canada as a whole, but enough people like her that I think she will keep her position. I don't think she'll be primaried or whatever the equivalent is in Canada. I think she'll be there until the next election, whenever that is. So yeah, sorry, she's pretty well ensconced in her seat. So there you go. Okay, I will see you soon, and I wish you a happy Tuesday. Tomorrow, I will be sitting down to write my Substack article. Don't know what it's going to be about yet. So if you do not yet follow me on Substack, it has nothing to do with YouTube, but it's its own thing, Substack. And it's where writers go to write, where readers go to read good writing. And I mentioned last time that my Substack's been named a bestseller, so that's very cool. It's free to read my Substack. You can certainly subscribe for a fee if you choose to. And the only reason you would choose to is just to support the work, but I don't charge anyone to read my work. So you can go be a free subscriber if you want to. I would love to have you there. And just go to Substack and look for In the Company of Cards or look for my name and uh, and you'll find it there. And so I'll be doing that tomorrow. I may come on here as well, but if you certainly will be able to find me on Substack tomorrow for my latest article. Okay, everybody. So I will see you very soon. Take care.